I think we've come a very long way. The fact, as we heard this morning in the panel, that both the Euribor and the EONIA are about to be authorized was really quite unthinkable only a year ago, where we had a plan to extend the authorization deadline just to accommodate those benchmarks. So overall, we at the European Commission are extremely pleased with the progress that has been made by the lead regulator, the FSMA, and we do hope that the authorizations will come through, as Jean-Paul Servet just announced, before the end of this year. I think the 2-year extension has taken a lot of the pressure off. I think the fundamental issues remain, but we just have 2 years longer to solve them. So what we will do in those 2 years is, of course, to prepare a strategy for third countries. What we will do in those 2 years is to simplify some of the recognition rules and the endorsements, and above all, what the Commission will do in those extra 2 years is to have an equivalence program which covers major Asian rates and foreign exchange benchmarks. The key things is that the third countries engage with us, which they are doing to a very, very great extent, on the equivalence process. I think we will have a dozen of countries engaging with us, and I'm sure that will yield the requisite level of decisions for rates in those countries, but also for currency exchange rates. We absolutely have to keep them in the scope because they were prone to manipulation earlier. And I think that is like a regulatory community which is emerging because of the equivalence process. And then there are some benchmarks which probably will most likely not be covered by equivalence because it's simply too vast a field to cover. And there we build on endorsements by the users and also now recognition. We are very pleased that in the ESA review the recognition process has been strengthened because it has been centralized with ESMA. So all these sort of issues around searching for your country of reference and where the main contracts are listed falls by the wayside because we now have ESMA. So I think this process will bring a huge improvement in the way that we deal with third country benchmarks that are not in the equivalence program. And altogether, by simplifying recognitions, by possibly further tweaking the endorsement process, I am rather confident that if there is the political will to make this regulation work, this regulation will work.